Hey, Charlotte here. I want to talk today about the latest women's movement. There's a big women's evolution going on that some people may not know about. First we had the voters' rights and owning property and everything, and then we had the bra burners back in the 60s and 70s. But today there's something else going on, something that's kind of magical. We're not really having to fight for this. Some women may think they're fighting for it at this point, but this is a movement of freedom. I see it in lots of ages, but what I'm so impressed with are two factors. One, I'm 70 years old. There's so many women my age group who are now getting minivans, cargo vans, cargo trailers, truck campers, even their cars, their small cars and SUVs. And they're building out ways to go camping. Some of us can't afford to live in today's society on our limited income. So what we're doing is we're kind of trying to beat the system. And it's not about revenge and beating the system. It's about just trying to survive. And we survive because we find innovative new ways to house ourselves and to feed ourselves. And we have had to learn that we can't afford high rent, and we can't afford to maintain a big house anymore, and we can't afford electricity and water. Everything is so outrageously expensive today. So they're buying vehicles and building it out into a camper, and some of us are hitting the road. I mean, that's maybe the only way we can afford to live, is to be in our vehicle and just take off, So, but there's a big advantage to that. It's not something you need to feel sorry for us about. It's a choice we make. And for many of us, that choice is freedom. Freedom from society's norms, society's outrageous cost of living, but freedom to get out there and see things and do things that we have not done for whatever reason. We didn't feel like we were allowed, or we didn't feel confident enough to take on. But we are now getting brave, and we're doing the things we wish we had done before. So we're out there going. The second factor that I'm so impressed with is the young 20s and 30-year-olds. They are deciding from the get-go that they're not going to be a part of that rat race, that they want to see the world before they settle down. That's not any different from the 60s and 70s, where what we were called hippies back then. But what the people did back then, the young people finished college or even high school and took off across the country or to another country and backpacked, and they lived out of just what they had in their backpack, and they survived that way. So there are young people doing that today, whether they're in schoolies or vans or off-road vehicles, over-the-road vehicles. They're all out there enjoying their lives. Now, how are they surviving and making money? Because, us older women, we got Social Security money, hopefully. But how are these young people doing it? They're working digitally, and they have found ways to work while they're on the road and not have to go to an office and sit. COVID was it was a devastating thing that happened to us, but it was also, there's always an advantage or a silver lining in every cloud. And so COVID really helped us to reformulate our ideas of how we work and play. So I was grateful for the change. It made a large impact in my life. So anyway, I'm so proud of the adaptation that we have reached down into our souls and decided we can still live, even though things are so expensive today. And some of us, you know, aren't working jobs to make big money. So, but there are still so many ways to live and live comfortably. You know, I don't do without anything, but I also don't pay water bills and electricity bills and high rent or lot rent for a house I already paid for, or property taxes. You know, I have managed to whittle my expenses down to where I can afford to do what I do. And I don't have a lot of money, but I have everything I need. So this movement, you know, I was referred to a video of Andy McDowell talking about getting older, and how she explains how she's just basking in her age and getting old. She's learning to enjoy that. And I always said when I was young, when I get old, I'm going to have a walking cane, and anybody that gets in my way is going to get rapped on the head. Well, thank goodness I don't do that, because, you know, I'm a mental health counselor. But I don't feel bad about getting old. I am probably happier than I've ever been. And I'm enjoying my life. I do what I want to do when I want to do it. How many of you can say that? So there are ways. Now, not everybody can do this. It's not for everyone. And if you have, you know, limitations health-wise or physically-wise, rethink this and decide, well, I can't do it her way, but here's what I can do. So, you know, take some time and think about what you need, because that's what this life is all about. It's what you need. Not what I need or what she needs, but what you need today. Because you can always change your mind tomorrow. That's the wonderful thing about being a girl. We can change our mind every day if we want to. So I just wanted to put this little snippet in. I've been thinking about this for quite some time, and I knew when I got my YouTube channel up and running, this was going to be one of the first things I wanted to talk about, because I'm so thoroughly impressed with the women today who are brave enough to get out there and find a new way of life and be free. Free from all of the expectations, and free from all the judgment, and free from all the criticism, and free from all of the expenses